We are on our way to Northfield Park. I just watched Levitor race. You know, he's just outmatched. And, that hat trick Marlowe was racing in the Open at Yonkers. Here's a horse they told us wouldn't get around a half. Yeah, he can get around a half, but, when you're chasing horses you can't beat, and chasing, eventually you just put it in neutral and finish off your mile. I haven't seen him. Obviously, the race just was over. I haven't heard if he was scoped or not, but I think maybe he just bit off more than he could chew, and I was worried about that series. I didn't really know. I would have loved to have him in here. He had just that win when we first got him, jumped him out of this race at Northfield Park. Like the Yonkers is a tight half. It's a tight half, and I appreciate Mark going to drive him, but it just looked to me like, unless Corey says, hey, it wasn't right, or hey, something happened, whatever, he just looked outmatched. So is there a class for him in Yonkers? I don't know. I'll talk to Mark. I'll talk to Mark and Corey a little bit afterwards and just say, hey, what's the scoop? He's not good enough, just not a big deal. We took our shot with him, and if he's not good enough, that's fine. We can take him back to Northfield. We can take him to Mohawk. As I said to Steve, that horse tried 53, 54 right now at Mohawk. Like, he would love to get over a big track, and you can see the difference too. I'll tell you what, the work that Lauren and everybody in Ohio did with that horse, his feet were really sore when we first got him, and his first win, really bumpy at Northfield, and you can see the progression of one, our blacksmith, and two, Lauren and the other people that take care of the horse there just did a great job with this colt. He looked great, of course. He looked great tonight, did his work as well as he could. You can't blame a horse. Listen, you beat fair and square, you beat fair and square. And it just looked to me like maybe we bit off a little more than we could chew with Levitor. The good news is there's still lots of classes for Levitor. So if it was just simply that he was in too tough, it's an easy enough fix. We'll take him to Mohawk or take him back to Northfield Park. Not a big deal. Now, the rest of the day was fairly successful. Started off the day, Walk on the Moon. Fourth beat like a length. First over, he looked like he had some power today anyway. Looked like he had some pop. Which one? What? Cop? Oh, yeah, right. What are you doing here? Oh, I'm all right. He looked like he had some pop to him today, and he should have won. He's not a straight up killer, so to speak. He's a horse. He's a horse. He's not a first over horse. So get him to the front, cover him up in the two-hole. I think he'll be back to his old ways. And actually, who knows? The application of those hobbles, although shocking a little bit, may actually help him. With his confidence and his work. So interested to see how Walk of the Moon bounces back next week. I was happy with what I saw today. So good. It's good to get him back on the right side of the ledger and moving forward. Next, we had Peanut Butter and Jelly. As I said, pretty hard. I mean, it was pouring rain. Getaway last in a maiden. I don't really think we can judge her off of that line. I don't think it's fair to judge her off of that line. So we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait and let her race one. I'd love to see her draw 1, 2, 3, 4 in a favorable field and have Travis drive her. Travis being pretty fair to her, right? Drew 7, got away 7th, did what she could, passed, I think, 1, maybe 2 down the lane or something. But raced okay. Not a killer, raced okay. And then, obviously, the highlight of the day was coming up, 2 of them. Massive Profit looked fantastic in Indiana. Finished up his mile good. I know we talked to a couple of clients. They were worried about how tight's he going to be. Is he going to be able to, do well in Indiana? When are you going to send him there? Are you going to have prep races? Just so we're clear, Massive Profit left 8 a.m. Monday morning for Indiana. So the horse raced very, very well tonight. He didn't have to ship in 3 weeks before. This isn't Sweden. It's not the elite lop. He's got lots of time to get acclimated. This is a horse that raced all last year in Indiana anyway, so it's not like this track, that paddock, would be new to him, would be foreign soil. He spent more time there than he did, more time racing there than he did in Ontario, for sure. And then, obviously, LD's Patrick and Stay Close. A little bit of an odd race. I thought when I made front, Brett would be coming right away. And it looked like the other gentleman just get out a little bit early, and Brett, it's tough. Now, these are 2 horses that are a little finicky. In a perfect world, James would drive LD's Patrick, and I would drive Stay Close. But James sucks, and he stayed home. Didn't want to come down here tonight. I don't blame him. I mean, the guy races, 4 days a week. He's the leading driver in Canada. I think if I had a straight up said, please, can you come down? He might have, but, I was going to drive LD's Patrick. Look, he's the devil. Did you just see that?
Yeah.
James literally just sent me a text message. He's the devil. I don't think Brett knew Stay Close. And Brett Miller, those top drivers, when you've got a horse that the hobbles are just anchored in tight, it's an unfamiliar feeling, and quite frankly, not a very pleasant one, I'm sure. I'm used to it. I know the horse. I'm happy with it. But again, I didn't want to see a repeat of New York, where for some reason LD's Patrick made a break. So I had to make a decision. Stay Close is coming in sharp. Yes, he wears the hobbles tight, but he's a pretty solid, honest trotter. It seemed like Brett was the right choice for him. And I think if you really just asked him point blank, I don't think he was super comfortable driving the horse. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something up with the horse today, but I just don't know if he was super comfortable driving him. So we ended up with a fifth with him. But LD's Patrick, man, he was awesome. I said to Jason, I said to Steve in the winner's circle, I said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I wasn't gonna bottom LD's Patrick out again with Shadow Roll guy. First over, he moved at the quarter pole. I saw him coming. I'm like, you again. I saw this movie play out once. Let's see if we can change the ending this week. LD's Patrick was a little sick the last time they hooked up, and he felt like he was firing today. LD's Patrick's learned as a horse too. Here's a horse that was usually aggressive, crazy, hot. These are terms that were used, quite frankly, all the time with LD's Patrick. Now it's more methodical. Like I had a 27-4, and I tapped the brakes. And I see the guy coming, and I'm like, if he's going to run me, I'll start him up. If not, I'm just going to let him sit there. You might beat me, but you're going to beat me a different way tonight. And he sat outside me, and LD's Patrick kind of a little calmness come over him. It was like he knew. He's like, all right, I got it. Just relax. Don't drive me stupid, and we'll get the W. And that's kind of the feeling he gave me, because well before the half, I was pretty certain I was a winner. The half flashes up 57-3. The guy first over still got a pretty snug hold in his horse, but LD's Patrick feels calm. It feels like he knows he's a winner already. Halfway down the backstretch, I see them start to stack up 3 wide. The guy 3 wide's got the earplugs out. He's chasing his horse. I haven't even spoke to LD's Patrick. The guy behind me, I know he's okay, but I don't really think he's a contender. He's not a threat at this point. Now, there's only 2 things. 1, I think I'm a winner. 2, where's Brett? That's all I'm wondering. Halfway around the last turn, it was like LD's Patrick. You just see him just kind of flick his ears a little bit, like he wanted to get going. I kicked the earplugs, and he just obliterated them. He was fantastic. I was a little disappointed that Stay Close didn't kind of shimmy through. I would have liked to see him finish second. I think if he races the way he did last week, he is second, but he didn't. Just kind of raced. So, bittersweet in the sense that LD's, as I said again, Lauren and Jason, see, we were talking about it after. I don't want to come on here and say LD's Patrick, he's a legit good horse. I can tell you one thing: you ship a horse from New York to Ohio, school him. No, New York to Ontario, qualify him in Ontario, ship him to Ohio, school him in Ohio. Then you take him 4 hours down the road in a trailer. You race him. He gets beat fair and square. Finishes 3rd. Scope him after. He's got mucus. He's sick. Ship him 4 hours home. Treat him for his sickness, so now you have him on antibiotics. 2 days before the race, the blacksmith comes in, shoes him. He's footsore. Bring him to the track down here. He's flat. I said why. I was pretty vocal about it afterwards. Can't shoe this horse close to the race. I can tell you why, for those of you that understand. LD's Patrick on his front feet wears aluminum shoes turned around backwards. Very, very rare. Not many horses wear that. Not many at all. The aluminum alloy just doesn't take the concussion that steel shoes do. And when you shoe him, he's going to get a little foot sore. You have to work on him. And again, Lauren did a great job. Jason and Lauren, everybody there is working their butts off too. Right? We work hard in Ontario. You don't hear it enough right now because they're just babies. But everybody's working their asses off to ensure that the stable runs the way it does. You might hear me talking about it, but I'm not the one, sweating LD's Patrick's feet with reducing or packing them or poulticing them, putting them in a tub. Right? I'm not the one putting away the horses in the barns in Ontario. I can tell you about it, but I'm not physically the one doing it. Those guys are working their butts off so that we can have days like today. And LD's Patrick, as I said, was for him to come down a third week. Now this is his third 4-hour trip. This isn't a round trip. It's 4 hours to Miami Valley by truck and trailer. Then get your Lasix down here, race your horse, 4 hours home. For him to know what was going on and put in the performance he put in today, as quiet and methodical and almost surgical as he did today, those are traits of a good horse, right? I can't come on here and say he's a good horse because I don't know what kind of horse he truly is. I know he jogged today, 55 come 28-2. Never been known for sprinting on the end of it, but obliterated them today and liked doing it. If you get a chance, go back and watch the full video and you'll see him jogging slowly back. He's almost prancing back to the winner's circle. Horse just feels like $1 million. Horses like to win. This horse likes to win. And I'll tell you what, I don't know where we go from here with a number of these horses. This will be a discussion over a late supper and over some emails over the next few days. But it's it feels great to have good horses that we can choose to move in different places. So a great win from LD's Patrick, who looks like he's well on his way to being a very good horse. A great win from Massive Profit, who looks like he's going to have a pretty good sophomore campaign for us. A decent race from Stay Close. I think you'll see a much better race out of him next time. Levitor was outmatched. You can't blame him for that. He did what he could. We'll probably bring him back to Ontario, maybe.
That's where you missed right there.
I made a mistake there.
This is where you're going to end up.
So what I do, I just
turn it around.
It's the same thing again?
Yeah.
3 weeks in a row, we three-peated.
Yeah,
so that's good. My co-pilot, I'm blaming you for that, by the way. No, you were in charge right there.
100%.
Yeah. Let's see if there's like a...
Right here.
Yeah, there we go. We'll get it done. We're going to cheat a little bit here. Oh, yeah, perfect. It must be on the other side of the...
Yeah, we just missed the 675. That's all.
So it's the next... Yeah, it's right there. That's fine. So, so he's saying before Steve had us way off course. We did the same thing the last 2 weeks, blew by the exit and had to go back. This highway turns into like Bob's Road. In the last 2 weeks, we had to turn around in last week was a guy's driveway fixing a John Deere lawnmower.
Yep.
Yeah. It's fixed. I fixed it. I fixed Steve's screw up. So, Levitor, who knows? I know Lauren loves the horse. Do we take him to Toronto? I guarantee you Levitor would fall in love with Mohawk. But I'll tell you what, do yourself a favor. You want to know the hard work that goes into racing a horse like Levitor and why a horse like him might race better for us in some situations? Go back and look at his racing at Dover. I think a lot went into how he was trotting, and then watch how he trots even around. And Yonkers is as tight a half-mile track as you're going to get, like mainstream track. Watch how he busts around the turns for Mark. He did everything he could tonight. He was just outmatched. And Peanut Butter and Jelly's just starting her career. Do I think she's a good horse? No. I think she's an okay horse, but I don't think it's fair to judge her on tonight or last week's prowess. First lifetime start in the mud, second lifetime start in the pouring rain out of the 7-hole. Let's let her tell us what she's going to be and what she's not going to be, and she will soon enough. So with that, I'm going to sign off. We got a huge day tomorrow. I have to qualify for. Now, pay attention, please, because there's going to be a lot of people ask me. What's that filly's name? Pete. Sweet on Pete is not qualifying tomorrow. The reason being, the rules are different for breaks and qualifiers and whatnot. If she made a break for God knows what reason tomorrow, she would have to requalify before the Hackett. So we're not going to qualify her. We are going to school Sweet on Pete tomorrow. Relax. There's no issue with Sweet on Pete. She is just going to school tomorrow. Everybody else is qualifying. I expect a good qualifier from Slim Jimmy. I expect a good qualifier from 1-2 Skip a Few. I'd love to see Gemstone Ruby Rose do well. Who's the fifth one? Must be a trot. Something. They're all trotters. Sweet on Pete. Schooling. 1-2 Skip a Few. Gemstone Ruby Rose. I have to warm it up because Jason gave me 3 horses to warm up. None of them were Slim Jimmy and none of them were I'm forgetting somebody, I apologize, but we have 5 going tomorrow 4 schoolers, 1 qualifier. Then immediately after the qualifiers, we have to drive right back home because I have to make it in time to drive Resolute Bay in race number 5. So a lot of racing coming up over the next week. Really, over the next few months, we really done at the stable what we've never been able to do before, and that's have a strong winter spring meet. We're almost to the summer, and we're having not just a lot of fun, but a fantastic run. So I will talk to you all very soon. I'll give you all an update tomorrow about the qualifiers and the schooler. We had a great day training, great day racing, just great Wednesday all around. Take care.